The Australian Government's National Emergency Management Agency, or NEMA, is an end-to-end enduring emergency management agency, the first of its kind in Australia. We support communities in times of emergency, while also preparing Australia for future disasters. This is done in collaboration with the states and territories, local governments and regions, the private sector and critical infrastructure providers, the philanthropic and community sector, as well as research and academia. Our work covers the emergency management continuum, a cycle of 7 emergency management activities: prevention, preparedness, response, relief, recovery, reconstruction, and risk reduction. While the states and territories are the first point of call for emergency management and response, we play a national leadership role in supporting them and Australian communities to manage disasters and emergencies that surpass their ability to manage on their own. We help them reduce risk and prepare before an event, respond during an event, and recover after an event. At the request of the states and territories, and depending on the scale of the crisis, we coordinate additional resources to support communities during times of disaster. This might include the deployment of resources under the National Emergency Management Stockpile, or enabling recovery support through our agreement with Disaster Relief Australia and the Australian Defence Force. We also facilitate the flow of federal financial support through the disaster recovery funding arrangements, which allow us to cost-share financial support packages with the states and territories. Furthermore, we activate the Australian Government Disaster Recovery Payment and the Disaster Recovery Allowance, a one-off payment and short-term income support payment for eligible disaster-affected individuals delivered by Services Australia. We have access to real-time data intelligence and situational awareness through the National Joint Common Operating Picture, a near real-time all-hazards dashboard designed to display all active nationally significant disasters and crisis events. This tool helps us to plan and inform our decision-makers better. Australia is experiencing cascading, consecutive, and compounding disasters and emergencies. We know that reducing our disaster risk before a disaster occurs saves lives and livelihoods, mitigates damage and harm, and reduces the cost of cleanup and recovery. That's why NEMA leads several initiatives, driving long-term risk reduction and resilience. With our partners in action, we are setting the foundations for a more secure, stronger, and resilient country by investing in the capabilities, data and information, and resources we need to reduce risk in Australia. With all investments of this ambition and size, reducing risk takes time and effort, but the results will be worth it for all Australians, today and into the future. Learn more at nema.gov.au.